Game 5 at the AAC, and let's preview it here with the series tied at 2 games apiece here on Shan and RJ. We are now joined by the great Brent Severyn on the D&M Leasing Hotline on 105.3 The Fan. Good morning, man. How have you been?
Holy cow, must be that time of year, eh? You guys talking hockey?
No, I'm not going to. I was prepared. I was prepared for this today. I'm not going to allow it. We've had on Butchergross. We're having on Ludwig. We've been talking it. You're just too busy out of practice and getting.
You get your 7 a.m. ice time.
Yeah. So
I know. I've had 3 hours already. I'm ready to go heading down the American Airlines Center. So let's go. Let's get this on the road here. Come on.
How is your playoff facial hair coming along?
Good. Since I'm not playing, I get to shave every day, fellas.
Oh, so you don't do any of that at this time of year.
Not for me. I don't play anymore. I just sit here and blab like you guys. What are you talking about? Come on.
How surprised were you? What were you really thinking when they fell down 0-2 at home? And how much of a chance did you really give them to go to Vegas and tie up this series?
Oh, I knew they do it all the time, fellas. Hey, when the fans were walking out after Game 2 and we're doing our post-game show, yeah, it was definitely dire straits for sure because we didn't know exactly what this Stars team was doing. The team that we've seen all year, the team that's battled, led the Western Conference, it's just like they were not up to speed. They didn't get to their game that they wanted to. And I think one of the problems was, I think it was a 9-day period where the Stars only had 1 game. So they were kind of playing catch-up, it looked like almost for them. And it definitely has changed, though, since they hit the Fortress and ripped down those gates in game number 3. Or groove, if you will. So they're looking much better.
Sevy, we've had a hard time answering this. Maybe there is not an answer. Who has been the better team in the first 4 games overall?
Well, yeah, it's been such a difference, right, in both games. I just like the way the Stars are trending. It's how you finish, right? So.
Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Pepe, call him back.
Team. Oh, did you lose me?
Yeah, we lost you.
Oh, I am so sorry. On the tollway, I don't know what happened. So what I was saying is that there's such a discrepancy in the games. The Stars are starting to trend up, which is the good news, right? And that's the way you want to play. The first 2 games, the heavier, stronger team was dictating play. But now as the Stars, and what's interesting, after Game 2, I thought the Stars needed a heavier, bigger lineup, right? Because they were getting beat to pucks. They weren't playing well along the wall. They were losing battles. They were doing all that, not getting to the net. But guess what? In Game 3 and 4, they added an element with Faxa hurt and Marchman hurt. They all of a sudden bring in a faster, not a bigger 4th line, but a faster 4th line. And I think that's changed a little bit of the dynamic of this team. And they understand, I think we all saw, that speed is going to win in this game. So, yeah, you've got a Vegas defensive posture, which is strong. It's meaty. It's tough. They've got a big defensive core. They've got a goaltender that's playing lights out. So what you do is you beat them with speed. And the Stars have done that in Game 3 and 4.
So would it be fair to say 5-on-5, the Stars have clearly been better? Vegas has maybe been a little bit better on the power play, especially in the first 2?
A little bit, yeah. And DeBoer, right from the Game 1, before Game 1, that's what he said. And when you look at it, both teams don't take a lot of penalties. It's the least penalized series in the entire NHL in playoffs. So both teams are trying to play and win 5-on-5, and the Stars have an advantage in that area. Where the Stars have gotten messed up, because it's not necessarily even strength. When the game has gone to 4-on-4 a couple times, it's really favored the Vegas Knights. They get to skate a little bit more. It's a little more open. Eichel gets a little bit more room. Marchessault gets some places to shoot. But the Stars 5-on-5 have played much better, I thought, as the series has worn on. They've been able to get out their end with a little bit more ease, creating more through the neutral zone. So hopefully that continues. I would just like to see some of the big boys get in and start contributing offensively as well.
Brent Severyn joined us here, 105 through the Fan. We love watching Wyatt Johnston play. I think it's fantastic. Oh, yeah. The future is so bright. Who's a comp for him? Like, especially as an old-timer that you played against.
An old-timer?
Yeah, man. You old-timers. You guys who played in the 80s, 90s.
Jeez, that's hurtful. Hey, you say that, and I'm glad that it's a 6:30 game today, because I got home from game number 3 at 2:30 in the morning, and I'm like, I don't function that way.
No.
I'm up at 6 and I'm ready to go. So anyway, yeah, we are old. So yeah, for Wyatt though, when you look at it and you start to compare like a Mario Lemieux, a Claude Lemieux, we did a little stat of guys that have had game-winning goals before the age of 21, and he's kind of like in that realm, right? But when you look at him, the maturity level of him coming in, his ability to cope with bigger, stronger guys. And one thing about him was when he played in the Ontario Hockey League, he was so good at dissecting and slicing through defensemen, finding open areas on the ice. And the first little while here, he's, NHL is so much faster than junior hockey, college hockey. So he had to adapt. He had to learn. So they introduced him, 5-on-5. They started to give him a little penalty kill time. They started to put him in the face-off circle. And each time they've done that, he's been able to kind of elevate his game and become better. So every time we see him, he seems to get stronger. Now this season, he's getting better at finding those open areas, getting that shot through, and he's starting to get creative with his entries, right? But the shot that we saw last year in Game 7 against the Seattle team where he roofed it, last game when he put it out, or the game before when he got the overtime winner, put it upstairs. So we're seeing him kind of develop into a player that did what he did in junior hockey, was dominate and score points, and elevated on that first line. They really had some chemistry. He's a driver. He's a driver of lines. He gets touches in the offensive zone. He creates pucks by driving it in offensively. So, yeah, like you guys, we're all a fan of his, and, sky's the limit for him for the Dallas Stars.
You are a physical player. How much did you love the Jamie Benn hit on McNabb the other night?
Yeah, well, after he steamrolled Stankoven, why is he picking on our small guy? He steamrolled Stankoven, and Jamie Benn comes through. The thing about the Knights, right, is that's what they want to do. They want to be aggressive. They're bigger. They're stronger, as we said. But here's what you do. You utilize and take advantage of teams that like to run around. So what you actually do is, as a player, you're drawing their team to you. So you actually have to hold on to that puck just a second longer. You draw the defender to you because you know you're going to take that hit, and you move the puck. So you've trapped a guy. And I think that's what the Stars were doing a little bit more of in games 3 and 4. They're kind of utilizing that aggressiveness because when they have 55 hits that first game, it's a lot of hits to be taking. So use it to your advantage. We mentioned the speed that the Stars are having. So there's a lot of good things that the Stars are doing and changing small things in their game, which has really been appropriate and really been advantageous for the Dallas Stars in games 3 and 4.
They're really playing with only, 5 defensemen. Lundqvist is not getting a ton of minutes. Are they kind of stuck in that situation? What can they do there?
Yeah, but that's good. Like, for those of us that have played the position, 5 is great. 5 is you're always rotating. There's a pace to it. You're getting lots of ice time. You're into the game. Where you get in trouble is if you get stuck in your defensive zone and the stopping and starting that you would do in those scenarios, that's where you get worn out, and that's where 5 guys can be a little bit of problematic to your squad. But for 5 guys right now, you can see they're just rolling. They feel good. They're moving the puck. They're getting it out. They're not spending a lot of time in their own zone, except for that third period last game. So, yeah, it's really not a problem at all. And, it's tough to see Lundqvist not play, but Stars are doing well without him right now.
The last 3 games or maybe even 2 games of this series, do you think it comes down to something as simple as – because it may have used to been like this. I don't know if it is like this anymore in the NHL, that the better goalie just wins. Whoever the better goalie is over the last 3 is the one that's going to win the series?
Yeah, it's mistakes, right? It's whether your goalie makes a mistake or you cough up the puck at the wrong time, you make an inappropriate decision in your own end. Yeah, that could be it. Because these teams have proven that it's tight. Every game is tight. And the mismanagement of the pucks by the Vegas Golden Knights in the games 3 and 4 has been evident, and it's cost them. So the Stars, if they can play strong like they did the last game, continue to be good offensive players by moving pucks toward the net. And they're shooting from everywhere. That's what they're doing. They're being very indiscriminate with the shots, not worrying about when to shoot, and that's causing a lot of carnage in front of the net.
Is there a series you're the most interested in other than this one?
I'm a big Edmonton Oilers fan, so I'm watching the Oilers a lot, see what they're doing, and probably somewhere down the line, if the Stars get through this, they get Colorado next, and then after that, the Edmonton Oilers, I would assume. So I've been watching that series and what Connor McDavid and the crew always does.
Who's the team from the East that you would not want to see if you get that far?
I'm a big fan of the Carolina Hurricanes. Now that they're getting goaltender, they are like this Vegas team with a strong defensive core. They got some guys that can score. They're heavy. They're hard. Every time I watch them, I'm like, ooh, that's got to be tough to play against them. And in a 7-game series, you know, those things are going to add up. So that's the team that I'm watching on that side of the aisle more than anything.
Thank you for answering our annual phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. Jeez. Thanks. I was like, oh, there they are, getting a call. Must be that. Yeah, what is it, April now?
It's April.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate it. Enjoy
All right.
tonight.
Yeah, you guys enjoy. See ya.